Hello everybody, welcome to episode 9 of my Minecraft survival series. We are underneath the iron farm right now, and you can probably hear some really annoying villager noises because I have friendly mob noises turned on, but we won't be here for long, so you won't hear those for too long. So I've added a collection system, an automatic collection system onto the iron farm, and I've AFK'd for a couple nights, and this is what I got. So, tons and tons of iron. Looks like another golem has just fallen down here now. So that's about 12 stacks of iron. And some puppies. So we're gonna go ahead and take all this back to our base, and that way we can use it to make hoppers for the sorting system. And so another thing I've done is I've expanded the, oh my gosh, that's a lot of baby zombies. I better run. This is not a good position to be in. Okay. I'm gonna come over here so the grass isn't in my way. This is not good. Oh, wow. There's so many of them, because they don't burn during the day. Oh, and now I'm on fire. Okay. Ow, ow. I'm burning to death. Woo. Okay. So we've taken care of all of those. I'm gonna sleep real quick so that doesn't happen again. Looks like there's still a few more. So yeah, I think these zombies keep spawning and trying to kill the villagers. And so they just kind of stay there because they're too close to me to despawn. So I AFK'd for so long that a bunch of them accumulated. But we did get a ton of iron. And so I actually, think we can sleep now. But I actually considered whether we should build a new iron farm, that was larger, because it turns out that iron golems were spawning outside of the farm because, iron golems spawn. If the village is large enough, they spawn in a 16 by 16 by 6 tall space around the center of the village, and our spawning space was only 10 by 10 by 6, so they would spawn outside of it. And I decided, I considered rebuilding the entire thing over in the spawn chunks by my base, so it would always be loaded. But I eventually decided just to expand this one instead of building a whole new one. And there are zombies everywhere. You'll see it's a little bigger now. I'm not going to stay over here because there's way too many zombies. But it's now 16 by 16, the spawning space. So no iron golems spawn outside the farm. So they can keep spawning. I considered rebuilding it in the spawn chunk so it was always loaded, but I decided to just rebuild it there instead, so I wouldn't need to transport the villagers all the way over here. I actually marked out where the spawn chunks are, or at least where the spawn of my world is. So I made a compass, and the compass led me to a point right over there on that hill, like behind the trees. So not too far from our main base, but way too far to transport the villagers. We already tried that, and you know how that went. So now we're over at the sorting system, and you can see I now have some item frames to mark what's in each chest. I only got to here because I ran out of leather, but I extended it and built 2 more sections and filled in the hoppers for another section. And so, actually all the way down to here the items are put in. So we've got all our materials here. like books and bowls, eggs, etc. And then I think the last one is here, which is... Nope, none of these have any, except it just goes down to here, which has spider eyes. And I've just continued the stone bricks. I extended it out a block so I wouldn't fall off. Eventually, we'll probably make some, like, support pillars underneath here, so it looks a little nicer. This crafting guide over here has also been really helpful, actually. So, like, I can make some planks and then, like, search for chest. Just shift-click. And I don't have any inventory space, but... And then we can go to, hopper. And get some hoppers. And it's easier if you have more inventory room, I guess. I'm just going to keep crafting hoppers until I run out of iron. Alright. We are done using up all the iron. We have crafted about 2.5 stacks of hoppers, which is a lot. We had like 12 stacks of iron. So, eventually I'm just going to keep building this, Ow. I got lagged for a second. I'm going to keep building this sorting system around in a loop. I'm going to probably build it mostly out of the episodes because I like to keep these episodes for more fun stuff. And I'm trying to kind of make them a little shorter and more concise. And just show you stuff that is really important to the series, like starting new projects. But large projects like this, I'll be working on over time, and so most of it probably won't be shown in the episodes. Since last episode, I've also added Unbreaking 3 onto our helmet, and made a new pair of boots without Frostwalker because it was being a nuisance having to take them off every time I wanted to go near like a project like the iron farm without messing up the water. So the old ones are just in a chest, and I've made some that have just protection, but I'm also going to put Unbreaking and Mending on them when I get those books. Another thing we need to do is make ourselves a bow. I changed my mind about just using whatever infinity bows I found. I decided it'd be better to have like a infinity bow with power 5 and all that, because now that we have the iron farm, anvils aren't too expensive, so we can just keep making new ones. And if we get an arrow farm, we can make a mending one. And I'm going to try and see. So that'd be 14 levels. 14 levels. Looks like whichever way I combine them, it'll be 14. 15. There was one way where it was 12. We'll go with that to start with. Power 5, Punch 2, and Unbreaking 3. I don't have enough XP, so I'm going to probably AFK at the fish farm, and then when I have enough XP, I'll add on the Flame and Infinity. And that's only 15 more. So I've also moved just about all of our enchanted books from the fish farm over into these chests. And here's some screenshots from when I was doing that. They kind of spilled out everywhere. But we do have a pretty large selection. We've got Flame and Frostwalker. I've looked through these and I don't think there's any mending left. Or infinity, but as we keep AFKing at the fish farm, we'll find more. Right now I'm going to build an automatic smelter. So we're going to have a double chest at the bottom, Um, 2 hoppers in the back. Furnaces will go on those. Then we'll have 2 uppers on the side, 2 uppers on the top, and a double chest on each of those. And now we can just put items to be smelted in here, fuel in here, and it'll automatically get moved down to this chest once it's been smelted. So I'm going to test this with, like, I don't know, we'll put in 4 pieces of clay into the top, and 4 pieces of wood into the side, and then it'll start smelting. And as soon as it gets done, the items flow out into here. So I'm back at the iron farm. I've done some more AFKing, and I crafted some iron blocks. I got about 1.5 stacks, which is pretty good. I also had to fight off all the baby zombies that were here. While I was AFKing, I also got an ender pearl because an enderman teleported into the AFK room, or the collection space. So some things I forgot to mention. The walls are now passed through these villager containers because I didn't want to have to move them, but it still works fine. We don't lose that many spawn spaces, only like 4. And another thing is that these slabs here and these rings of blocks, there used to be 3 rings, but now I think I got rid of 2 of them. Actually, the first one was at in the same place as the wall, so the wall got built on top of it. But these were built to prevent extra iron golems from spawning outside the farm. But I don't need them now because the farm encloses the entire spawn space for iron golems, and that's what these slabs also did. I also tried just putting every other block, but it didn't really help. But now the farm is 16 by 16, so we shouldn't have any more problems with that. I realized that I missed a block there. Then we can go down underneath, have a look. We're gonna build a proper entrance to here eventually. So now I'm AFKing in here because I'm just worried that another enderman will teleport in and then I'll be looking at him and he'll kill me. So here's the chest. I haven't taken out any of these poppies, so that's how many we got in total. And then we also got a couple ink sacks because a couple squid, I guess, have spawned in there and fallen down here. So we've got these 22 and then all these, and it's a lot of iron because each of these blocks turns into 9 iron ingots. So in all, this is 14 or 15 stacks of iron ingots. In addition, I have finished creating the bow, as you saw in that little montage there. I just did some AFKing at the fish farm and broke down some coal ore and got 15 levels. And so now we have that. So that's got Power 5, Punch 2, and Breaking 3, Flame and Infinity. And I'm using Infinity instead of Mending because we don't yet have an arrow farm. So I have gone ahead and added another side to the sorting system here. I haven't put in the hoppers or anything yet, just the chests, and well, I've put in some of the hoppers, but not any of the redstone. So this is going to come around and it's going to loop back and forth. until we have chests for all of our items. And I'm going to be mostly working on this outside of episodes because it's kind of one of those boring, tedious tasks that isn't that interesting. So I'm trying to make the episodes shorter and cut out uninteresting stuff, and just leave the fun and important stuff. One thing I will do now, though, is cover up the top of these hoppers, because I heard that it will reduce lag because the hoppers won't be looking for items over top of them to pick up. So it should reduce lag. And then the last thing I want to do in this episode is pass the sorting system, like pass everything from the fish farm through the sorting system. So we sort out like sticks and bones and string and things like that. And then this side is going to be for food. So the first 3 will be the different kinds of fish. And after we sort those out, at the end we'll just get all the unstackable, enchanted books and fishing rods and bows. And I'm wondering if I should just burn all the unstackable fishing loot or sort it out by hand. And I think what I'm going to do is I had an interesting idea, which was to use the enchanted bows and fishing rods that we don't want as fuel, because you can actually, if there's like a... Ow. Okay. Like these bows and fishing rods will each burn, they will smelt half an item, so that might just be something interesting we could do with the leftover loot. And then saddles and stuff will probably get sorted out by hand. Anything we do want to keep. And then things like leather boots will just be burned in lava. So that's the general plan for what I'm going to do with all the fishing loot. But for now, I just want to send it through the sorting system and see what gets filtered out. So it should be the string and the sticks and the bones. I'm not exactly sure where these different chests are because I haven't labeled them all yet. But I have some hoppers here and some droppers. And so what I want to do is create a small item elevator that just comes around here. And a hopper chain that sends the items right into here. So what we're going to want to do is take a hopper chain right back around here. I'm not going to bother hiding it. I kind of like having parts of the redstone out in the open. So we're going to go back this way. And this, it would be better if it was moved over by a block, but we can always change that later. And then we're going to go all the way behind the pen, animal pen. And so this is right here is where the loot is coming from on this block. So we need one more here. And then we can just do you can just do 2 droppers to move up the items through there. So I'll just go with a simple clock, comparator clock. We should probably sleep. Where'd the bed go? It's up here. So when there's an item in here, it's going to activate a clock. And that will power these droppers and move the items into the hopper line. So let's try to figure this out. We have the comparator here, and if that reads an output, it should activate another output like this. I'm going to remove this for now so we can test it. Okay. So we'll need a repeater in front of here. And then this all needs to be moved forward a block. So what we can do is put a stone block here and then just move it all forward. There's our repeater. And then... Okay, so it's powering this one and moving all the items up into this one. But we also need to power this dropper. So let's move up the current by a block. Now it's not powering the one on the bottom. And we'll put a repeater into this block. Oh wait, we can't. Alright. Let's put a redstone dust here. And then just send the current into that block. Using a repeater. There we go. So now this will all come up out of here. Don't know if any's going in there. It'll just go around to the end. Doesn't matter. I just want to see if this is all gonna... Yep. Alright, so this is going to move all the loot upward. Now we just need to move this hopper chain back over into here. So let's put a hopper there. And then there's nothing in here, so we should be able to break this. Okay. That's alright. Oh, I fell down. Trying to grab that hopper. Okay, we're gonna swim up the water. And then place a temporary hopper there. And we somehow need to get in there to place the next one. I'm just going to go down here. Oh. There we go. So now that should dissipate the water. Let's grab some dirt. Fill these in. And then this will move all the way over to here. And it won't power the hopper because the redstone is just powering these two. It's powering this one because the block is next to it, and then it powers this one directly. So this hopper might actually get locked when this dropper is activated. I'd like to test that to make sure it'll still work. Let's just put in some redstone, because that's already in our sorting system. Yep, it's getting passed on just fine. Alright, and so that'll hook up the hoppers into here, which means that whenever we fish up an item, it'll get sent through the sorting system. And then the last thing to do is just to cover this line up. It was fortunate that we only needed to go up 2 blocks, otherwise I might have had to make an item elevator. So we'll just cover this row of hoppers so we don't get any lag from them. And then down here. And we should be good. That should be all the redstone we need to hook up a fish farm to the sorting system. So let's just pretend that we're going to, that we might fish up some redstone. And we're going to, put it in here and then run over to see it get moved into the chest. This is a trap chest, so it's not going to come in while we have it open, but we can look in here. And it should be starting to come over. Yep. So that's all getting sorted out into there. So it looks like that's going to be functional. So we now have got the fish farm hooked up to the item sorting system. Before next episode, I will probably put in the redstone for the food section, and that way we can start sorting out our fish. What I'm probably going to do is dedicate like 3 whole sections of these just to fish, because we're going to get a lot of it. So I'm going to wrap up the episode here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.